Most people think trucks from the 1940s belong in museums, but I just watched a 1948 Ford F1 haul-a-boat trailer like it was built yesterday. What if I told you there are trucks pushing 80 years old that can still outwork some modern pickups? I'm about to show you 20 classic pickup trucks that prove they don't make them like they used to. These aren't garage queens or trailer princesses. These are working trucks that have survived decades of abuse and keep coming back for more. Some have been in the same family for generations, others rescued from junkyards. But here's the crazy part. Many are more reliable than trucks built last year. Let's start with the granddaddy of them all, the 1948 to 1952 Ford F-Series. This was the truck that changed everything. Before the F1, most pickups were just cars with beds bolted on the back. Ford built the first truck designed from the ground up to be a truck, featuring a separate cab and bed design that was revolutionary for 1948. The magic wasn't just in its design, it was in its flathead V8 engine producing 100 horsepower. These engines were so overbuilt that many are still running today with original parts. I know a guy in Texas with a 1949 F, one that has 400,000 miles on the original engine, and it starts every morning without fail. Ford sold over 100,000 F-Series trucks in 1948 alone. Next up is the 1947 to 1953 Chevrolet Advanced Design, Chevy's stylish answer to Ford's F-Series. Where Ford went for pure utility, Chevy added flowing fenders, a distinctive grille, and an interior that actually looked good. The heart of most advanced design trucks was Chevy's bulletproof 216 cubic inch inline-six producing 90 horsepower. These engines ran forever with basic maintenance, oil changes, tune-ups, and they'd go for hundreds of thousands of miles. Chevy sold over 5 million during its 7-year run. The 1950 to 1966 International Harvester L-Series deserves serious respect. While Ford and Chevy fought over consumers, International built trucks for people who actually worked for a living. These were overbuilt in every way, heavier frames, stronger axles, and engines that could run all day. Most came with International's 220 cubic inch inline-six, designed for pulling heavy loads at low speeds with massive torque. You'll still see these working on farms today with over 300,000 miles. The 1953 to 1956 Ford F-100 was Ford's improved second-generation F-Series. They fixed every problem from the first generation with a lower hood line, wider cab, and Ford's new Y-block V8. The 239 cubic inch engine produced 130 horsepower, making it one of the most powerful trucks of its era. Ford built over 1.2 million F-100s during the 4-year run. The 1955 to 1959 Chevrolet Task Force was Chevy's stylish answer featuring wraparound windshields, hooded headlights, and distinctive egg crate grills. Most came with Chevy's new 265 cubic inch small block V8 producing 162 horsepower, the start of the legendary small block family still in production today. You could get wild options like the Cameo Carrier with fiberglass beds or even 4-wheel drive. The 1957 to 1960 International A-Series combined style with International's legendary durability. These featured clean, modern lines with slanted grills, but underneath remained virtually indestructible. Most came with International's 240 cubic inch inline-six producing 135 horsepower, known for durability and fuel economy, with nearly unbreakable 4-speed transmissions. The 1960 to 1966 Chevrolet C/K series introduced the modern pickup truck with independent front suspension, a huge improvement over solid front axles. Available engines ranged from the economical 230 cubic inch inline-six to the powerful 327 cubic inch V8 producing 250 horsepower. Chevy sold over 1.5 million during the 6-year run. The 1961 to 1971 Ford F-Series represented Ford's longest-running truck design because it was nearly perfect. Clean, understated styling aged gracefully with proven mechanical components. Ford offered everything from the economical 223 cubic inch inline-six to the powerful 390 cubic inch V8. The popular 352 cubic inch V8 produced 208 horsepower with enough torque to pull a house off its foundation. The 1963 to 1987 Jeep Gladiator was way ahead of its time, essentially a pickup version of the legendary Wagoneer combining serious off-road capability with decent on-road manners. Most came with either a bulletproof 230 cubic inch inline-six or powerful 327 cubic inch V8, all with standard four-wheel drive. Production was limited to fewer than 200,000 over 24 years, making clean examples worth $40,000 or more today. The 1967 to 1972 Chevrolet C/K series marked the beginning of the modern truck era with longer, lower profiles and car-like styling. Engine options ranged from the economical 250 cubic inch inline-six to the powerful 454 cubic inch big block V8, with the small block 350 V8 being most popular. These introduced luxury features like air conditioning, power steering, and AM/FM radios. Chevy sold over 2 million during the 6-year run. The 1967 to 1996 Ford Bronco deserves mention for incredible durability. Early Broncos came with either a 170 cubic inch inline-six or 289 cubic inch V8. The massively overbuilt frame, thick steel body panels, and abuse-resistant components mean many first-generation Broncos are still working today with over 200,000 miles. The 1968 to 1998 Chevrolet K5 Blazer was Chevy's full-size answer to the Bronco, combining truck capability with SUV versatility. Most came with reliable 350 cubic inch small block V8s producing around 200 horsepower. The removable top allowed open-air driving while the excellent four-wheel drive system handled any terrain. The 1973 to 1987 Chevrolet C/K series represented peak traditional American truck design: big, powerful, and unapologetically American. Clean, masculine styling with distinctive grills looked tough without being aggressive. Engine options ranged from the economical 250 cubic inch inline-six to the massive 454 cubic inch big block, with the popular 350 small block offering good power and reasonable fuel economy. The 1973 to 1979 Ford F-Series continued Ford's tradition with new designs featuring higher belt lines and more glass area for better visibility. Ford offered everything from the economical 300 cubic inch inline-six to the powerful 460 cubic inch V8, with the 390 cubic inch V8 being most popular for heavy-duty work. The 1975 to 1993 Ford F-Series included some of the most reliable trucks ever built. The 1980 redesign introduced fuel injection and electronic ignition for improved reliability and fuel economy. The legendary 300 cubic inch inline-six produced only 150 horsepower, but massive torque, regularly accumulating 300,000 to 400,000 miles with basic maintenance. Many are still running today with original components. The 1988 to 1998 Chevrolet C/K series represented the last traditional full-size trucks with aerodynamic styling and improved fuel economy while maintaining legendary durability. The introduction of throttle body fuel injection replaced carburetors, improving reliability and economy. The 350 cubic inch small block remained most popular, now producing 210 horsepower. The 1993 to 2011 Ford Ranger might seem too modern, but many are over 30 years old and still working daily. Ford's answer to compact imports, Rangers came with economical 2.3-liter four-cylinders or reliable 4.0-liter V6s, known for running well past 200,000 miles with basic maintenance. Let's also talk about the 1980 to 1997 Ford F-Series with the legendary 300 cubic inch inline-six that deserves its own spotlight. This engine became the stuff of legends among truck owners. It was simple, reliable, and practically bulletproof. The 306 had only 7 main bearings, a single overhead cam, and basic fuel injection in later years. No fancy technology, no complex systems, just pure mechanical reliability. What made this engine special was its low RPM torque. While it only made 150 to 185 horsepower depending on the year, it produced massive amounts of torque right off idle. This made it perfect for towing, hauling, and working at slow speeds all day long. Fleet managers loved these engines because they rarely broke down and were cheap to maintain. The 1978 to 1991 Ford Bronco also deserves special mention for taking the original Bronco concept and supersizing it. Built on the F-Series truck platform, these full-size Broncos were massive, capable machines that could handle serious work and serious play. Most came with either the 351 cubic inch V8 or the legendary 306, both known for their durability. These full-size Broncos became icons of American excess in the best possible way. They were huge, thirsty, and unapologetically rugged. The removable rear roof section meant you could have open-air driving when you wanted it, while the solid construction meant these trucks could handle whatever you threw at them. Many are still working today as farm trucks, hunting vehicles, and winter beaters. The 1987 to 1996 Dodge Dakota deserves recognition as one of the most underrated trucks ever built. Chrysler positioned the Dakota as a mid-sized truck between compact imports and full-size American trucks, and it hit that sweet spot perfectly. Early Dakotas came with either a 2.5-liter four-cylinder or a 3.9-liter V6, both derived from proven Chrysler engines. But the real excitement came in 1991 when Dodge stuffed their 5.2-liter V8 into the Dakota, creating the first midsize truck with V8 power. This engine produced 230 horsepower and made the Dakota a genuine performer. Even better, it was based on Chrysler's legendary LA small block family, so parts were cheap and plentiful. What made the Dakota special was its combination of capability and maneuverability. It was big enough to do real work, but small enough to park in normal parking spaces. The construction quality was excellent, with many Dakotas still working today with well over 200,000 miles on them. Here's what all these classic trucks share that modern trucks have lost. They were built to be repaired, not replaced. You can fix most problems with basic tools and readily available parts. They were overbuilt for their intended use, lasting longer than expected. Designed when fuel was cheap and regulations minimal, engineers focused on durability over efficiency. But there's something else these old trucks had that's almost impossible to find today: character. Each one had its own personality, its own quirks, and its own way of doing things. A Ford felt different from a Chevy, which felt different from an International. Today's trucks are more similar than different, built to meet the same regulations and appeal to the same broad market. Take maintenance, for example. On a 1970 Ford F-100, you can change the oil, replace the spark plugs, adjust the carburetor, and fix almost anything else with basic hand tools. The engine bay is spacious, everything is accessible, and the systems are simple enough that any decent mechanic can figure them out. Try that on a modern truck with its computer-controlled everything, and you'll need a degree in electrical engineering. These old trucks also had something modern trucks lack: mechanical sympathy. You had to understand your truck, listen to its sounds, feel its vibrations, and respond to its needs. Modern trucks isolate you from the mechanical experience, which makes them more comfortable but less engaging. When you drive a classic truck, you're part of the machine, not just a passenger being transported. The ownership experience was different too. When something broke on an old truck, you fixed it. Parts were cheap, labor was reasonable, and most problems were straightforward to diagnose. Today, when a modern truck's computer system fails, you're looking at thousands of dollars in repair bills and possibly weeks in the shop waiting for parts. The challenge these trucks face in 2025 is finding parts and qualified mechanics. Many manufacturers are gone, and knowledgeable mechanics are retiring. Rust is also a major enemy, especially for trucks from snowy climates with road salt. However, there's a growing enthusiast movement keeping these trucks alive. Online communities share repair tips and part sources. Specialty companies reproduce hard-to-find parts. Classic truck shows celebrate these mechanical legends. The real test isn't whether they start and drive, it's whether they can still do their intended work. Amazingly, most can. A 1950 Chevrolet can still haul hay. A 1965 Ford can still tow boats. A 1975 International can still climb mountains. What's remarkable is many are more reliable than modern vehicles. No computers to fail, sensors to malfunction, or complex emission systems to break down. When something goes wrong, you can usually figure it out and fix it yourself. Modern trucks are more comfortable, safer, and fuel efficient. They have air conditioning, power everything, and can tow enormous loads. But they're also more complex, expensive to repair, and designed to be replaced rather than maintained indefinitely. These 20 classic trucks prove good engineering never goes out of style. Built when trucks were tools first and lifestyle statements second, their designers understood trucks had to work every day, in all weather, with minimal maintenance. They succeeded beyond their wildest dreams. In 2025, as we move toward electric and autonomous vehicles, these mechanical dinosaurs remind us what we've gained and lost. We've gained comfort, efficiency, and capability, but we've lost simplicity, repairability, and the satisfaction of fixing things with our own hands. The fact that trucks from the 1940s and 1950s still work today testifies to their engineers and owners who maintain them. These aren't museum pieces, they're working vehicles earning their keep daily, representing an era when things were built to last. Check out this next video to see the most expensive classic truck restorations that went completely wrong.